Buckle up, Buttercup. Live from Gloucester, Massachusetts. Podcasting around the world. You're listening to the GloucesterCast podcast, a production of Joey Shimataro and Good Morning Gloucester Media. Kick back, relax, and enjoy the show with your host, Joey Shimataro, and his crew of merry castaways. No piping plovers will be intentionally harmed in the production of this podcast.
Good morning, Gloucester. We are here live from our illustrious studios at 44 Main Street, and we are joined by Matt and Mike from the WeSayGravy Roni Rumble. And
right.
It's a big deal. It's a huge deal. And which one of you would like to explain the premise of the Roni Rumble?
Sure. Yeah, and by the way, that was a great intro. I know what Mike is thinking, that our podcast needs to get that type of intro. So
great intro. It really was.
So in 2019, when COVID-19 was really in the heat of it, a lot of places shut down, right? So we thought that a pizza tournament was actually the way to go, a creative way to show like what places are open with voting on Instagram in polls. And I only had like 800 followers at the time or something like that. Fast forward, we did the tournament. Santarpio's won it in year one. I think we had 3,000 followers by the end of the first tournament. I didn't even know Mike at the time. Then we did a sub shop tournament, and Mike's family owns a sub shop in Cape Cod. They ended up winning the tournament as well. So that's how I met Mike. And from there, we've done 4 years now, the Roni Rumble, and here we are today. It's really evolved.
Pizza is a universal thing, obviously. And a lot of people have very passionate views about pizza. I just want to let me put the graphic up here because this show what we're talking about here, the Roni Rumble.
If I could ever do, like, you know, the show The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, how they do Bachelor Tells All. If I could ever do that and talk about all the smack talk that these places do in the background and DMs, I'm going to do it someday because it's pretty heated out there.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Not to mention the fans. Yeah.
The tell all, like the gay guy from with Bravo, right?
Yeah.
The Desperate Housewives or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they get really nasty.
Oh, yeah. I mean, these places are all good sports, you know, in front of everybody on Instagram and Twitter. And we have Joe Murray involved this year from 98.5. You know, voting is on his page as well. So, I mean, every night we've been doing this, it's getting thousands of votes and lots of eyes on not only obviously the large shops, but small shops like we have in Gloucester, right? So
yeah, exactly. We the Good Morning Gloucester, we run a lot of type of contests, some similar to this where it's audience, you know, voting through the internet, and then some we do in-house with a panel of judges, blind taste tests, and they're always fun. They're always really well, you know, the views. People love a contest. They absolutely love a contest, and it's super exciting. How many pizza joints are involved in the Roni Rumble?
this year we have 64 in the main tournament, and we did a Rhode Island play-in, so we're starting to expand 16 Rhode Island shops down to 1. That's Jeff's Pizza in East Providence, so they're in the tournament this year. And then we did additional play-in, so a total of about 78 pizza shops this year.
And how do you select the pizza shops?
So throughout like the entire year, we just do stories of, hey, like what shops are looking good right now. It's really the following of the page, just to see like what's hot for people these days, what they want to see us post more. Really feedback throughout the year, right, Mike? I mean, I don't think we do.
Yeah, I think last year, right when we finished up, we had Blue Square. Everyone was kind of telling us to go check them out. They were fairly new. Out in Hopkinton, they're literally right on the starting line of the Boston Marathon. So we went out there. We actually invited them to participate this year. And another great shop that we didn't know about that we learned about throughout doing this, the tournament.
Sometimes we look on like Google Maps in the most random places in the middle of like the Berkshires, and we found Roberto's Pizza in Sheffield, and they won the tournament in 2021.
Oh, wow.
So that was a fun ride.
Yeah,
ask Mike
for
about
some
that
people.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that I love the most about it is actually your webpage, because you have pictures of every participant's pizza.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, there's no right or wrong with pizza. I have a particular style that really speaks to me, but I like a couple different styles of pizza. I do like a Sicilian style. I do like a Neapolitan style. But on your page, WeSayGravy.com/Roni-Rumble, and Pat, my partner Pat's going to put the link up for people. You can see, and you met, for the people that, after this is all done and over with, and you can go back to this page as a reference, and you'll find styles of pizza, I promise you, that you would absolutely love. Like, some people like a Detroit style, Chicago style. And I saw some places when I was scrolling through this morning of places I had never heard of, and I am ready to get in the car and drive a couple hours because it just looks phenomenal.
Yeah, there's still a couple things. We get some criticism, like it's online. So we would love to do an in-shop taste test for 64 shops. If somebody wants to give us a couple grand or $10K, we'll do it right away. Give us the money. Otherwise, right now, different from other voting contests where it's just a place. You go on the website, you want their email. We're really not anybody's email. We're not getting any really data from anybody. It's just going online voting, and we wanted to put the pictures up, be a little different, showcase the place, because that's what it's really all about. Get these places visibility, and it's really worked out that way. Not to mention, we live in a region, right, in Massachusetts especially, where you have bar pizza. You can't find that anywhere else. We have beach pizza, a lot of sourdough shops, Sicilian pizza, bakery pizza. So it's a good way to showcase everything and mash it all together and just see what comes out on top.
Yeah. So do you guys have a personal preference on you don't have to name a place, but a style?
Mike?
I'm a Quincy boy, so that South Shore bar pie is kind of something I gravitate towards. That's kind of my favorite style.
I've gotten into like making, my own starter and sourdough and really appreciating that style. And there's a lot of sourdough spots there's a lot of places that have been born out of the pandemic, and it's been really difficult for people to understand that these places are beating the traditional spots. Like Mike loves Regina's. We have arguments all the time about Regina's pizza. Very good pizza, but these new places, they're really good pizza and they're really good at marketing. So it's I think it's interesting, a little wake-up call for some pizza shops as well.
Somebody just said Elio's Pizza is their favorite.
That was my school lunch and when I was little. So Elio's fan, right? Absolutely. Yeah.
It's funny. I'm going to say something that is going to be so controversial right now.
Bring it on.
I know I'm going to get a ton of heat for this because it is not conventional. I think that Galleria Umberto.
Oh God, Mike's going to
may be the most overrated pizza on the planet.
I agree.
Thank you very much. Okay,
right,
but here he goes. Watch.
I'm partial. I'm impartial to this, but I'm an arancini guy at Umberto's, so just to put that out there. I do get a slice from time to time, but I'm a Galleria Umberto arancini guy.
Mike has to watch what he says because you'll find him walking around the north end if he's not sitting in that seat.
That's right.
But I mean, the problem with Umberto's is it's great and everything. I just think it's got a great reputation. I wish they did toppings. They don't do toppings. I don't really like cheese pizza, to be honest with you. I'll eat it, but I don't like it. So I just wish they would do a little more. That's all.
I think that their pizza it's like I think that the worst pizza I've ever had on a scale from 1 to 10 would still be a 4. You know what I mean? That old adage that it's really hard to mess up a pizza.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Even a bad pizza is edible, in my opinion. Like this, I haven't met one where I would say no to. Right.
So what's your number one pizza?
Pico. And I think
Pico and ice cream. They do it like a really nice, well done, charred. Okay,
it's a good spot.
Yeah,
I found Pico 3 years ago. I went there, and obviously I live in Gloucester, and I it was an out of body experience for me. It's the highest I've ever rated a pizza, and
That's awesome.
I drove back into Boston 3 more times in 1 week to go back because and dealt with the parking because I don't like I feel like parking in Boston is absolutely insane nowadays. But I went back 4 times in 1 week.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of Pico fans out there. What's your topping though? Like, what kind of pizza from Pico?
Just whenever. So I rate a lot of. I'm a pizza. I don't know. I don't call it a snob, but aficionado. Just I always when I'm grading a pizza for the first time, it's always just a cheese pepperoni pizza.
All right.
That's my go-to. I feel like that's because I want to have a consistent when I'm rating them. I want to be consistent.
So my problem with just rating cheese pizza, and I know there's a lot of people out there, obviously Barstool and all that, they just do cheese pizza. I think you can tell a lot about a place by the topping, right? Especially the pepperoni. Is it Ezzo pepperoni or what type of pepperoni? Is it fresh ingredients? Like there are people that suggest these spots. I look them up like throughout the year, and it's like canned mushrooms. So I mean, that's just not going to make the top 64, right? Unless there's like thousands of fans that want to do it, then we'll do it. But I think toppings say a lot about a place, right? So.
Yeah, I agree. So let's get into the reason why we're here right now, and so I saw you on X this morning. I follow you guys on Instagram. Would you say Instagram is your most popular platform?
So for the Roni Rumble Instagram, we say gravy. The voting is on Joe Murray's Twitter page. That's where you commented. Joe Murray's Twitter, where he has 30.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Joe Murray's. So I said I totally respect that the premise of this, that you're getting the word out about all these places that wouldn't have had recognition. And believe me, I there's 10 places that I feel that I cannot wait to go and buy pizza from right now because I'm obsessed right now. That being said, so in the bracket that speaks to me because Rhea Pizza Napolitana in Gloucester, Massachusetts, I feel has elite pizza, and they're in a bracket with where I consider another elite pizza maker, Juan from Posto in 7th Square. I mean, that guy is amazing.
Crazy. Yeah.
And I feel like these two guys are both obsessed about pizza the same exact way. And then they're in the same bracket and I agree with what you had said. There shouldn't be a Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. No. I totally agree with you.
Yep.
That being said, I feel like some of the places, I feel like this is the most popular pizza contest, right? Would you agree with that? It's the most popular because it's based on popularity, not necessarily. And there's a degree of what the best is, but
what makes a place popular?
Well, a part of in a voting thing like this, name recognition is a very popular.
And why do they have name recognition? Why does
because they're I'm not.
No, I hear you. I get this.
I'm not debating that they're not good pizza. They're very, very, very good pizza. I just don't think that they're elite pizza. And that's fine. And that's fine because we have a place in Gloucester. This is an example. We do these kind of things, and we did like a steak and cheese challenge.
Yeah.
And the way we do it is we have the town nominates, and the top 5 nominations get into a blind taste test that we have a panel, and the panel does not know who the voters are.
I like that. Yeah.
So and the people that work with me, my friends that are part of the podcast that aren't on air right now, will tell you how angry and obsessed I am about people not knowing that we're coming to get the subs so that they don't alter it, and that the judges don't know where they came from. I'm completely obsessed with it. And the places that get the crazy amount of nominations because they're known for having the best steak and cheese get decimated when it's a blind taste test.
Blind, yeah.
So I feel like if you put in, so say Centopios, if you put Centopios, you put Rhea, you put Posto, and I forget the other one that's in this
Trading Post.
group. Trading Post. Well, Trading Post one year, did they?
No, there's their second year in it.
They're leading. They're leading in that bracket right now, though, right? So I can't speak to Trading Post Pizza because I don't know anything about it. But if you put Posto, Rhea Napolitano, and Centopios Pizza completely blind, I think either it would be Posto and Rhea running away from Centopios because I just consider that elite pizza.
No, I understand.
You see what I'm saying?
There's a lot of arguments to it. I guess before I go, I know Mike has a hair appointment, so Mike, you were.
I'm gonna hang out for another couple of minutes because this is getting good.
Yeah, we're getting into it. Yo, have you heard of
a couple
New Deal?
feathers trimmed here.
New Deal, yeah, New Deal fruit, unbelievable subs, yeah.
So Mike,
unreal.
Banderas went against New Deal. You probably never heard of Have you ever heard of Banderas Market?
No.
Yes.
No.
So we're on the Cape, and we were really trying to boost our Instagram. And at the end of the day, we had a big following on the Cape, and we have a lot of people that come down from the South Shore. So it was basically South Shore and the Cape, and we're trying to blow up the Instagram and whatnot. So it does have something to do with your Instagram presence to begin with.
Social media presence.
Yeah, it's definitely social media presence that play a big factor into it. Obviously, you have to have a good product first.
Yes.
And people have to like you and love you to support you, which we were lucky to have, and which pretty much, if you've made it to this point in the bracket, you have a lot of pretty much hardcore fan base that support you. And it's basically, again, it comes down to your product and your support. And on Instagram, if you're good and you know what you're doing and you have a lot of, loyal customers, they're going to support you in this.
So Mike, they were in it. They got 10,000 votes. Mike flew a plane over all the beaches with those banner thing on the back. He spelled WeSayGravy.
Stop it.
I didn't tell my parents about that because they would have lost their minds.
So the thing is going at 11 o'clock across Truro at this point in the sky, and I'm getting
I was getting messages from B-Town. People were like, "What are you doing? You're a nut."
But to answer your question, so first of all, we do a combination of both. This is a social media tournament. That's how I like to position it. But the Final Four is in person, so we go on the trip wherever we go. We do the taste test as the Final Four. We have a panel of judges who have been. They are cooks at restaurants and chefs and owners of restaurants. So they're part of the judging for the Final Four. But I think they go, we're in 2024 and I'm a believer in social media, obviously. So I think that if a place is popular in social media, there's a lot of work to that, right? And they've done a lot of investment into their social media. I think that's a big part of business these days and they should account for that. So if they're popular, that's because they've worked at it. And I think Square Deli was a shop that won it last year. 3,000 followers.
Yeah.
Not a big social media program by any means, but their pizza's so good and now they're completely blown up. Not because of the tournament, but they're going to be in top 10 pizza list whenever you see it. But I mean, it is a social media tournament in the first rounds. It's interesting, right? But you also have to have good pizza. If it's bad pizza, it's not going to it's not going to win, and it never has. So
New Deal. That's where Tommy Guarino and Prosciutto Papi filmed their Instagram stuff, I think.
Yeah, Banderas took him down. So
took him down. That's huge.
It was a battle of the beach.
Fun. I mean, I think
I love it there though.
That's the thing with these social media tournaments when a place like Rhea's going up against, say, Centopios. Trading Post is really popular. It's bar pizza at the Bourne Bridge. They have grown so much. It is good pizza, and it's bar pizza. People like that style. But I think part of the way this tournament is set up, I don't think the pizza places would necessarily like this, or some do, some don't. But when Rhea goes against Centopios and Trading Post and they start reposting on their Instagram, you're getting exposure to the large places' audiences, right? And so I think that's part of the whole model here, just to give visibility into everybody. And I think the places that do well in the social media rounds, you start to see who has a loyal following. Is Square Deli's employees starting to repost? A chain restaurant, I'm not going to name the place, haven't seen anybody repost it ever. So those shops, those small shops, like that plays a big part in it. It's interesting to see, their colleagues and their family members start saying, vote for me, vote for us. And it grows from there. It's a big chain reaction.
When I spoke to Rhea this morning, they were really happy just to be recognized in the tournament because they're two people in a truck side of the road. I mean,
Not easy. Yeah.
But they do put out elite pizza. I will tell you that. What to you guys? What are the parts of a pizza make it like? What makes an elite pizza to you personally?
So elite pizza to me, couple answers to that. Like especially with social media, I want to see how is this place making their dough? What type of flour are they using? Do they have a sourdough starter? It's a sourdough place? If it's a bar pizza, what type of ingredients are they putting on it? I want to see like how seasoned are your Lloyd pans. I think the strong places start to post that in their stories, like behind the scenes, not just I'm not a big fan of like the corporate social media pages where it's putting like 5 women at a bar. Like that's not going to make me go to try the pizza out or something like that. Right. And then I like the chart style, good photos of the pizza and just, that's the type of pizza I like.
It sounds like you and I have very similar.
Yeah,
what about you, Mike?
So, I mean, in this type of tournament, obviously I have my own preferences and tastes, but I'm a big presentation guy, especially when you're talking Instagram and you're trying to get the right picture of either a sub or a pizza. Me and Matt always go back and forth on what we should order when we go to these places, but going back to the pepperoni, you want to see that nice cup and honestly, that presentation, sometimes even the box, because I know Matt gives me hell when I make these videos and I'll be lifting the box. He's like, just take a picture of the thing. Stop moving the camera around. But I love the box. I love the way the presentation is. And for me, that plays a huge part in these competitions and in some of these businesses as a whole. There's people out there that just show some of the pizza boxes and not even, show the whole pizza. But I think that presentation is huge, especially now that we're in kind of a social media age where people are looking for that. And I think that's a cool way that you can differentiate yourself.
Yeah, I think that the sourdough. I don't think a pizza can be elite unless it is like a sourdough starter kind of pizza, and I do like a little char. And it's interesting to me. I feel like people that can't appreciate that char or immediately go to like when I ask for a pizza and it's got a little char or a place intentionally puts a little char on a pizza and the person that says, oh, it's burnt, like, you know what I mean? And I immediately dismiss anything that person has to say going forward after that.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
They're just idiots. You know what I mean?
Especially like Juan G at Posto, like their dough recipe is just flour, water, and salt. So sourdough. But what's everybody loves about Juan, at least what I do, is he videos everything, the way he cooks the pizza, the temperature of their oven. They do wood fired, obviously, right? So obviously a Neapolitan style pizza, which it's not my top, but like if you eat the pizza there at Posto, it's obviously very good, right? So there's just tons of different styles, and I agree it's not burnt. That pisses me. I get that all the time. Like Joni's is blown up from lately. It's not burnt. It's just the way that the air bubbles in the dough. But that's another story. Yeah.
So I was talking to Paulie from Rhea this morning. He talked. I think that like good pizza, it starts with the dough. I think if you don't have the dough down, like then you can never be elite pizza. And he was talking, he's got a 7-year starter.
Oh, wow.
And he was talking about every single day. He makes his dough every day. He said every single day it's different. It's time, temperature, humidity. And he has to account. It's an art. It's not a steady, like no single day is he going at the same exact time or the same amount, the temperature or whatever. He has to account for all of that. He goes, and some days he goes, I'm fighting it. He goes, but
consistency. The consistency is always different, but
and I think elite pizza too. Like you look at, I don't have it up, and I looked this morning at Rhea. Like he posts different pizzas, different specials. He's got like fennel seed on some pizza. He's got fresh ingredients. So like when you change pizza and you have a special, like it's gonna be fresh ingredients, and it's. I mean, I've never had Rhea, but I can tell I like it a lot.
You're like me. You would love it. I mean, listen, in Gloucester, Massachusetts, we're filthy with great pizza. You probably could have put 4 or 5, and there's a lot of towns just like this, but we probably have 4 or 5 really, really, really good pizza places in town. So some of the ingredients I love to see on pizzas: fior di latte, that white kind of cheese. I like it mixed in with like the regular mozzarella, and they're cupped. Oh my god! And then they put like a little bit of basil, and they cook the basil, and then the hot honey. I mean, whenever you see these ingredients, these people care, and it's like next level, right?
Oh yeah.
And they take pride in that big time, and that's a lot of the talk behind the scenes, right? Like, this guy's not doing this. I see him buying frozen meatballs and stuff like that. So, we'll tell it all someday. And apparently, Sebastian's in Gloucester. What's that? A sub shop? We got to go there.
No, it's a pizza place, and it's an old school pizza place, and it's right up there. It's
right.
Fantastic.
We got to take a road trip to Gloucester for sure.
Yeah, we hope Rhea would pull this out. Like, they just reposted today. Maybe the town of Gloucester would get going. We'd love to take the bus to Gloucester with all the judges. That would be fun.
That would be fun. Yeah, Rhea, we got Bravo, Rhea, Sebastian's. There's a bunch of really good ones. But yeah, I love what you guys are doing. Similar to to Barstool, similar to what I like to do, and that's uplift. I'm a small business owner, and this is uplifting. You are putting money in other people's pockets, and
right. Yeah.
and it's noble. What you guys are doing is really, really noble. I appreciate everything that you guys are doing. It was fun going back and forth right here. And so, Pat, can you put the link back up?
Yeah, we don't make a dime. If we did, Mike would spend it all on our corporate card.
That's right.
On his
we'd be courtside at the Celtics last night with Malcolm Butler.
I love it. I know. That was pretty wild. So you put the link up, Pat?
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. All right. Well, guys, we'll finish up right here. But is there anything, a last word you'd like to share with the people? So you could go to we'll share Instagram, WeSayGravy. If you go to their profile, all the information is there. We're rooting for our hometown heroes here in Gloucester, Rhea Napolitano, but all of our pizza places are great. And any last words, guys?
No, I think next year we'll have to do a Gloucester qualifier with all these shops. So we'll be back.
Yeah, definitely can't wait to get to Gloucester. I mean, everyone just support your local pizza spots, and hopefully they'll get in the Roni Rumble next year or this year.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, guys. Talk to you
awesome.
soon.
Thank you.
Down with big news. 411, come get the scoop. Wake up with Joe and the rest of his crew. It's good morning, Gloucester, to you. Oh, it's good morning, Gloucester, to you. I say good morning, Gloucester, to you.